a non-traditional medium story would be, or challenge would be really fun. That scared me. My name is Stacey Lepke. Welcome to Stacey Writes, and today I'm going to make a writing community challenge, which is just something that people can get together and do different challenges over the course of a month or however much time they decide to make it, and have fun together and share our journeys, which is something that I really like to do as a writer. And I am not entirely sure how to start, so I think I'll just start by numbering things. Well, first I need to decide what kind of challenge I'm going to do. That would be a good place to go. So here we go. Now, if I had more writers in the chat with me, I would at the very least be able to get an idea of the sort of things that they'd like to see. But I can just start with the things that I would like to see as a writing community challenge. Yeah, that one's pretty. Okay. So what sort of things would I like to do in a writing community challenge? That's the question. So NaNoWriMo is coming up, so we could do a NaNoWriMo themed one. We could do challenges of like scenes or like writing snippets. Is snippet even a word? Probably not, but I'm going to use it anyway. Shakespeare did it, so can I. Okay, what else? Other fun things. Okay, so then there are like character challenges, world building challenges, there's plotting, painting. I don't know how you do a painting challenge, but it feels like it'd be fun. I read an article once where someone was talking about how they develop ideas for stories when they're in like a BuzzFeed type writing job. And one of the things that the article said that they do is they'll write out a list of, they'll come up with an idea for like a listicle, and they'll write out like the first 20 things that they think of for their listicle, get rid of those, write down another 20 unique things, possibly even get rid of those, and then just keep going until you get to the most like unique and interesting ideas surrounding the theme of the listicle. That's kind of what I'm trying to do here, just writing out as many ideas as I can think of, and then maybe eventually I can find something that would be like a really fun writing community challenge. And this is something that I want the audience for would be mostly like on Twitter and Facebook, because those are two of my most major areas where I interact with a lot of other writers. Because I just want to have fun with everyone. It might even be fun to integrate most of these into one challenge. In one of the Facebook groups that I take part in, they do themes each week for sort of giving each other advice on a particular theme in writing, like creating government structures or organizational structures that you insert into your story. One week, oh, sounds like it's storming outside. I want it to be something that pushes people to their limits as a writer, like something that sort of can help them push past the barriers and become better writers overall, but not so challenging that it's too difficult to do. Fantasy flora and fauna is fun. I also like the alliteration. What else could we do? Man, it's really going outside. I hope my lights don't go out. A non-traditional medium story would be, or challenge would be really fun. That scared me. Okay. You want to come here? Yeah. There you go. Puppy is afraid of storms. You're fine. He is shivering like crazy. I've done a couple of fantasy ones, but there are other genres, so like horror, tragedy. That's my favorite one to do, so it's probably not the one I'm going to choose. Okay, I'm just going to write out a bunch of genres then. Ooh, a fun thing that I've done in the past is you can take a chapter from a book and then write that chapter as if it's a completely different genre. I like doing that one because you're restricting yourself a lot by what actually happens in that story and then just sort of changing how it's perceived. I did a cell phone novel a long time ago, and what I really liked about doing that one is that you're limited to about 200 words per chapter of the story. So I ended up writing like a full story. It was about 50,000 words, and each chapter of it was only 200 words long. And so you have to do this thing where you're creating a sort of a scene or an event that takes place, and you have to have a complete idea in each chapter. And by limiting the amount of words, it really helps with the creativity of it, but it helps you learn how to keep things concise and how to really mince your words so that it can be a complete thought, be very clear, but also be as beautiful of a story as you want it to be. And I had a lot of fun with that one. That one turned out to be pretty popular. Although it doesn't exist anymore because the website that I posted it on went under. So I'm thinking along the lines of a word count challenge where you start off at a small amount and then over time you build up so that you're sort of like a strength training exercise, that you start off at a smaller word count each day, and then with practice you would eventually be able to get to the point where you're writing a lot more than that per day. It's a nice concept. I don't know how practical it is. For some of these, I feel like I'm just writing words that are associated with stories and hoping I can come up with an idea for how I can turn it into a challenge later. Well, I think I should have enough now where I can at least pick one or several of them that I can turn into like a 30-day challenge. With NaNoWriMo coming up, I really would like the idea of creating a sort of a writing challenge to help keep people engaged during that month so that you don't drop off your word count in the middle of the month, which is something that I tend to be very guilty of. Okay, so let's take this one. Put that in the maybe pile. Actually, let's put that in the yes. I think the genres can go into the maybe pile because it's something that you can put into another challenge, but I don't really want to do those as a challenge in itself. Alright, so that should give me a good list to work off of for coming up with the daily challenges for it. So what should we call it then? I want to give it a hashtag because if I'm putting this onto Twitter, then it's something that I want people to be able to categorize easily. Oh, that's a really long name. Maybe I should just shorten it. It could be... That looks like a news station. I'm not going to do that. Okay, so I'll just call it the Writing Community Challenge, maybe. I don't know what would be a good name for it. I'll think about it later. For now, since it's NaNoWriMo, it's only going to be 30 days. That's a fun one. I put in a couple of kid jokes in there because those are always fun to try and work into a story somehow. One of my NaNoWriMo stories, I actually wrote an entire book that was based on the joke, Why is 6 Afraid of 7? So the title of it was 789. I really enjoyed it that year. Alright, we're almost at the end. We just have 3 more days worth of challenges to do, and then we can start filling everything out. All your characters talk like Yoda would be fun. What else could we do? Say just include a penguin, but there has to be something better. I can do this. It was all a dream. You know what? It's the end. There either needs to be fireworks or glitter. Just glitter everywhere. Okay, so now I'm just going to flesh these out a little bit so it's more understandable. Okay, I have 30 days worth of activities that people can do. And now I just have to turn it into an attractive format. And my favorite place to go for that is actually Canva, so I'm just gonna pull that up real quick. I have to say, I really enjoy making graphics for things for my social media stuff. It's a lot of fun for me. I mean, this one's kind of dark, but it's also pretty. Yeah, I like the coloring of this one better, so I can adapt it pretty well. Move all this stuff up here. Let's move all of this stuff up just a smidge. Okay, and we have a graphic. And the graphic was good-ish. It was passable. Oh no!